All right, so for today's lesson, guys, we're going to start system of equations. I'm going to start by giving you the definition. Anything left in colored paper, that's the stuff that you are going to glue. We're going to do it together, and you're going to glue to your spiral. Anything in white paper is what you are going to do independently for homework or classwork, and make sure you turn that in. So a system of equations is basically when you have two or more equations and you're trying to find out if they have a solution. A solution in this case is going to be the point of intersection. So you are going to have to graph both of these equations at the same time on the same grid and check to see if they cross. Wherever they cross, that's the point of intersection. That's going to be the ordered pair, and we call that solution. So for example, let's start with this one. I'm going to start with easy ones that are already in slope-intercept form. Y equals x minus 2. Remember, the number next to x is your slope. The other number, including the sign, is your y-intercept. So when we graph, we always start at the y-intercept. So I'm going to put a little dot at -2. And then the slope, up 1 over 1, and so on. And you want to do that all the way until no more little dots fit there. And of course, in the opposite direction. So opposite of up and right is going to be down and left. So you want to do this, and then here's your first line, y equals x minus 2. So you connect it. There it is. And now let's graph the second one, y equals -2x plus 7. So again, this is your y-intercept, so you start there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your slope is -2. Remember, we can make it a fraction by putting a 1 at the bottom. So that's going to tell me to drop 2 down, 1 over, 2 down, 1 over, 2 down, 1 over, 2 down, 1 over, and so on. And I'm not going to continue this one because actually this one has already given me what I need. If you notice here, they do cross right here. This is the solution, and it is at 1, 2, 3, 1. So 3, 1 is the solution to this system of equations. Sometimes the problem is already graphed for you, and you have to come up with the equations yourself. Okay, so obviously this is a system because I got 2 lines graphed at the same time. They do have one solution, okay, and that solution is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -7, 3. So -7, 3 is a solution for this one. Now, what are the equations? Well, let's start by finding this one right here. I can see that this one crosses at -2. So that is my B, -2. And then I just pick another perfect little point. I am going to pick this one right here. And I'm going to go 2 down, 3 to the right. So the slope, notice this line is negative. So my slope is -2/3. So that first equation is going to be y equals -2/3 x minus 2. The second equation, if you notice, the grid is not big enough for me to find the y-intercept. Okay, so let me find the slope. I'm going to pick this point right here, and I'm going to pick the solution. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and it's also negative. So the slope of that one is -5 over 2. The y-intercept, since I cannot see it, okay, what I'll have to do is I'll have to take my slope and a favorite point, whatever point I want, whether it's this one or this one right here, which would be -5, -2. And then I can write it in point slope first and then solve it. Okay, so I would do this. Y, I'm going to use -5, -2. So the opposite of -2 is +2 equals my slope, parentheses x, and the opposite of the x is +5. So then I go ahead and I move the 2. Y equals -5 over 2 x. I'm going to distribute. This is -25 over 2 and then -2. So if I combine these two right here, I'm going to get y equals -5 over 2x, and this is going to be -29 over 2. So that's going to be the other equation. So sometimes the graphs are given and you have to find the equations yourself. Sometimes the equations are given, you graph it and find where they cross. Now, if you are given a table of values, notice here's the first equation, here's the second equation, it's a system. If you're looking for the solution, I mean, it's the point where they cross. So obviously it's the point that they have in common. So you just got to check which point appears in both tables. So here I have -1 partnered up with 1. That is an ordered pair for this one. Over here for this one, it's -1 and -17. Which ordered pair appears for both? It's this one. You see how they have the same y value? So 2, -11 is the solution here. Over here, what would it be? Well, I see the double y values right there. So the solution is going to be -3, 12. That's how you find solutions from tables. So please glue this down to your spiral.